welcome to this edition of Believers Talk with Joe and Steve. We are your hosts. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And we are going to talk to you about some breaking news about one of our offensive linemen. Before we do that, however, I want to remind everyone, if you want breaking Bills news and continuing content, whether it be of signings or retirements or anything like that, the schedule, the draft coming up, subscribe to this channel. We'll have you covered. Everything Bills related, we got it right here. So let's talk about it. Richie Incognito, right? I don't know if you want to say a little bit about him now.
Yeah, apparently he's retiring. The Bills haven't made it official. Richie has said he contacted the NFLPA,
right?
And they say he has contacted them, and they look forward to him doing things after his career. So, at least the beginning stages of it are there.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know if it's trying to get some of the money back after he fired his agent, because he did take a new deal, and he took a pay cut from all but $6.5 million this year to $4.75 million.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Right.
But when he took that pay cut, he got an extra $1 million guaranteed. So he was probably on the bubble of being cut anyway.
Right. Okay.
So.
Because we only had signed through this year anyway.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. He was on 1 year
left on his contract. And I feel, and I think we were talking about this a little off camera, the Bills will now go after that $1 million signing bonus if he does retire at this time, right? They can go after that.
Yeah, so with him retiring, they would save $3.75 million.
Okay.
So because he's retiring right after redoing his deal, they can go after that $1 million signing bonus, and they would actually save $4.75 million. So it would help the Bills out a little bit, give them more cap space.
Right.
And we talked a little bit about it, like off air here a little, and some people might be upset about this move, but I'm really not that upset. Like, I didn't see him here long term anyway. He's like 35 years old. He's older, so he would have been a free agent after this year. They weren't going to re-sign him. The offensive line needs help in general.
Right. Oh yeah.
It was going to be rebuilt completely next year anyway.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It's just going to be another step that they have to do this year.
Yeah. Do you think any of our off-season moves, mostly talking about trading Glenn, do you think that would be different if Incognito were retired, let's say, 2 months ago, rather than right now?
No, I think Glenn was a trade piece to get up in the draft, and I also think they wanted to get out from underneath that contract.
Right. Still a big contract.
I think that was going to happen regardless, and they were trying to trade him earlier last year.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through. They didn't get what they wanted, and I mean, they got a nice ransom to trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glenn, so I don't think that would really change that much.
Yeah, I'm still a huge fan of the Glenn trade. Yeah, I think we've said on plenty of occasions, offensive line is a big concern for us. Yeah. I mean, we have lots of holes in there to fill.
We have a lot of holes this year.
Overall, yeah.
I thought that was the thing. Like when we did some of our other episodes, it said next year, offensive line is going to be totally different, kind of very similar to how the linebacking core and the defensive line this year.
Right, this year, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be very different, and next year we have the cap space to do a lot of other stuff too, right? So our team might be very different come next year. But yeah, Richie Incognito seemed really mad about the pay cut that he took. Yeah. And that really surprised me because he doesn't have to sign the pay cut. So I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but that just
he said he was pissed off. Yep. He used a few other words in there. We'll keep those off camera. But he was upset about the pay cut, and that had nothing to do with him retiring.
Right.
But to me, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
He's had all these tweets out there about how he was excited and ready for football, and when the OTA dates got released, he was ready to be back with the boys and play some football. Yeah. And then it just snapped and went the other way. So that kind of makes me wonder if it does have something there. Like you said, he did fire his agent after that contract, and it's not his agent's fault. His agent can tell him you do this contract or not.
Right. Yeah, and it kind of seems, and we'll get to like the physical issues that he says. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. But like, it seems kind of childish, like to fire someone over Twitter, right? So I really hope that he talked to his agent's company before he just tweeted it.
Yeah, and it was his agent for his whole career.
Right. Yeah.
So this is what, a 12-year career. You have a pretty good relationship with the guy, and then just boom, because of the deal. Right. And like I said, you said it. if you don't want the deal, don't sign it.
Right. I'm your agent. I'm saying, hey, this deal's on the table, yes or no. You say no, I go back and say no. I'm not forcing your hand to sign this. So.
And looking at his age and knowing he probably only has a few more years left, that maybe he wasn't even going to get that good of a deal out in the market anyway if he would have got released.
Right, yeah, who knows? So that's just very interesting to me, and I'm kind of with you on the fact that I'm just not sure what's going on here. Like we said, he did talk about some physical issues that he was talking about his he went to the doctors and they said that his kidneys and liver were failing him. So maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he said they're shutting down and the stress. But I also read that he wants to be a Hall of Fame player, which I don't think he is.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but he's not a Hall of Fame player. And it's just one of those things where, you know, if it is the health issues, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it does put a lot on you. But I did see a video of him and a bunch of his buddies on like Instagram or something. They were out the night partying and stuff like that. And the next day they had IVs in. You know, so it can't just be football.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the toll that takes of the lifting and probably the supplements that you take too, and the beating on the field, but also how you live off the field too. That takes
you know, when I first heard liver and kidneys, I was like, well, I guess stress could have something to do with that, but there are other factors that affect your liver and kidneys and let's be honest, Richie Incognito is not necessarily known for like not being social, right? Like he gets out there, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that, but you know, I'm not sure how much it's stress related and how much it's partying related, you know. And that's again, if there's something wrong with his liver and kidneys, I don't care how it happened. You know, we want you to get better, and we hope that you live long and prosper. But yeah, so I'm just not sure about that. I was watching listening to ESPN Radio today, and they talked about the stress of the position, offensive line. So I did want to talk to you about that a little bit. How the offensive line is just one of the few positions where if you mess up, your friend gets creamed, right? Like it's just one of so that is a little bit more stressful, I think. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I can think of that too, but I also think maybe he was seeing too the offensive line, like Eric Wood's gone.
Right.
You know, you're basically coming in with a bunch of new guys now, and you know Jordan Mills has always been up in the air. Everybody either loves or hates him. At times I like him, at times I can't stand him.
Right.
Same thing with like the guard play with Dukas. He's up and down. Maybe he just didn't want to deal with that, and he was going to have to, since Wood is gone, he's going to have to be the leader and deal with a lot more of that, and he just didn't want to do it. Right. So that could all be factors into him retiring too.
I agree, and like you said earlier, I'm just not sold that this is the last we hear about this situation. I don't think it's just me gone.
Yeah, because even if he does retire, you're going to hear about them most likely going after the $1 million signing bonus. And if the Bills call his bluff and say, well, then go ahead and retire, then he's going to have to retire if he's doing this for a pay cut.
Exactly.
Or not a pay cut, a pay raise, sorry. So either way, there's going to be something in the future about it.
Yeah.
It's not official yet. Once the Bills release something, then it'll be official.
For sure. Yeah, so very interesting. As Steve said as well, I don't think this is a huge concern. I mean, our offensive line was already a problem, so I don't think it makes it any bigger of a concern. It is what it is. So.
I think our offensive line would be better this year anyway, going back to our power run scheme.
Yeah.
And that's where Incognito is at his best. So he would have probably had a decent year.
Right.
He has been a Pro Bowl the past couple of years, so you know that is something we're losing. So obviously, but sometimes a Pro Bowl you get in for the name, so I don't put a lot of stock into that.
Right.
The only other thing I can think of with the offensive line, if we do draft a rookie quarterback, do you play him now?
Right. Yeah. That's an interesting question because you have Adrian McCarron now, who's a veteran. I mean, he's been there. He's been in the league a few years. Do you want to put the young quarterback in just to kind of get smashed? And that really, I think that to me that really depends who do we get to replace Incognito, right? Like how does the offensive line look? You know, no one thought the guy who replaced Glenn, I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Dawkins.
Yeah, Dawkins, right? No one thought he would pan out to be as good as he was, and he turned out to be pretty good. So we'll see what happens. You know, we have a new offensive coordinator, completely new scheme. So who knows?
Yeah, that's another thing to deal with the stress. You're learning a new scheme.
Right. Yeah.
Learn something different.
So yeah, if this is health related, we wish him nothing but the best. Okay, and it is, to me, it's still a little bad timing, but hey, maybe he just went to the doctor last week, so
maybe that's what happened.
Yeah.
Things do change
from
day to day, and you can feel great, and then you go to the doctor, and you have something wrong with you. So
so we do wish him the best health-wise. For the Bills, it stinks, but it's not as big of a sting as some people might make it out to be.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how it goes for this year for the offensive line, because it was kind of something that we were going to watch, and like we said, next year it was going to be redone anyway. So we'll see where they go this.
Yeah, but I don't think it changes how the Bills draft this year. I think the draft is going to be the same. Maybe we'll pick up offensive lineman in the 5th, 6th round instead of something else, but that's about it. I don't think our wish list on the top is that much different. I don't think this affects us in that way, but it's sad to see Richie go. He was a great player for us. So if this is the last, then thank you for the years in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's not like he didn't give it his all. The guy was out there battling through a lot of things. So
absolutely.
We appreciate him playing his heart out for the Bills. The whole situation is a little iffy. So I kind of hold my judgment a little bit to see if it is health or if it's just, kind of getting money, kind of like the Anquan Bolden last year. Came back, then didn't
trust the team.
I don't think he thought the Bills would be any good, so he was like, okay, I'm just out of here. And then there was reports again that he wanted to play again. So if that whole situation plays out here with Incognito, then it's for the money.
Exactly.
And it's not health. So.
Exactly. So, but that's all we have for you today. So please be sure to subscribe to this channel, like or dislike this video. We will be here constantly giving you great Bills content nonstop. But till next time,
go Bills.
Go Bills.